Hey guys, just giving you a little update here. So one of the things I forgot to mention that you should always do is that, as I was telling you guys, the 2-wire system might have been cut right there at the bush there. That was the most likelihood. But here's one thing I always tell people to do. So the remotes, the controls have a sensor that will trigger an alarm. That will trigger, tell you that hey, something's wrong with the wire. Message might display on the screen here. It always depends on which remote you're using. Whether it's a Hunter or Rainbow, which are the two most common here in Nashville. One of the things I did first before I started panicking about digging bushes and all that is because, as I was mentioning to you guys, this is a new construction. It's an ongoing construction rather. As you guys can tell, they're still adding homes and buildings and all residentials there. One of the things I did was I walk around, make sure, because as we know, all water comes in from the streets. There's a lot of digging going on around here. So one of the things I did was I went ahead and manually tested the valves. They're very easy. You just take the solenoid, turn it a quarter of a turn, and you should hear very loudly, not too loudly, but enough that you can hear water rushing through the valve. I did that with the drip valve that controls this drip right here. And then I did that with that valve over here that controls the irrigation heads over here. I'll show you guys in a second how to do that. And then nothing came up. So if there's water in the system, even if the control or the wires are cut or the control's not working, you can always manually turn it on. But if that doesn't work, then there's an issue with the water, obviously. So more than likely, as they were digging, they must have cut the main to here for whatever reasons. And they don't usually let us know. We just find out this way. So here's a valve. Again, here's the 2 wires there. As I was explaining to you guys, here is the valve. Let's see if you guys can get a good glance at that. There it is. There's the valve right here. This on top of the valve, it's called a solenoid. Essentially, the 2 wires here are hooked up to these 2 wires as well. This is a module there. It controls. It's a decoder that controls the essentially the remote sends the signal here, and the signal, this recognizes the signal, and it tells the wires, hey, tell the solenoid to open up. And then again, if you want to test it manually, all you got to do is turn it counterclockwise a quarter of a turn, like so. Nothing happens. There's no water in the system. They must have cut the water here. And for new constructions, if you have a good relationship with the builder or the developer, it's pretty neat. You can just call them directly and ask them. A lot of times they don't know. A lot of times there's a lot of the subcontractors or the contractors here. They'll come in, turn it off, and then they'll mention a thing to anybody. But it's always in the builder's best interest to have the lawn looking green, as you know, they're trying to sell homes. They want to make sure the front looks as neat as possible. They want to make sure the landscape stays alive, especially down here that it gets hot and we have a lot of rock underneath, a lot of layer of limestones here, and it will kill the plants quick. So they may not know the situation. I'm not saying that's the case here, but always reach out. I was trying to stay in communication with them and help them achieve their goal, which is to sell homes. And one of the best ways to do it is to keep their interest looking as green or as alive as possible, so that potential buyers can see the quality of the homes they're building. So again, that's the update on that. Once we get the situation resolved, once we get the water back on, everything should be working fine, but we'll come and test the system regardless.